So today we are going to be doing areas of shaded areas. So if you take a look at our first example, we're going to be figuring out the area of the black areas. So in the black area, I see this circle, and I see this semicircle, and another circle, a semicircle. So I have two circles there. I also have two rectangles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out the area of two circles and the area of two rectangles. We know that the area of a circle equals pi r squared, and the area of the rectangles are going to be base times height. But I'm going to alter those formulas just a little bit so that we can do it easier. So the area of the two circles is going to be 2 times pi times the radius squared. So if I'm looking at this circle here, this radius is half of 12, so that's going to be 6. So I've got two circles, so there's the 2, pi and 6 squared. That whole area of the circles then equals 226.2 feet squared. Now I'm going to find the area of two rectangles. Well, I know that this I can move right over here. So that's going to be the height. So that's going to be the area of the rectangle is going to be base times height. But I have two of them. So I'm going to do this again. 2 times the base and the height. So that's 2 times the base of 19 and the height of 12. And that equals 456 feet squared. Now I'm not done yet because I want the total. So the total is going to be the areas of the rectangles and the areas of the squares. So I'm going to add those two together. 226.2 plus 456 equals 682.2 feet squared. That's the total of all of that black area. Okay, here I've got a pool. Well, it's I don't know anybody who really has that shape of a pool, but we'll go with it. All right, I see a semicircle here, a semicircle here. So I have one circle. I've got a rectangle, and I have a triangle. So I'm going to take the area of a triangle, the area of a circle, and the area of a rectangle and add it all together. So again, we've got the area of a circle is pi r squared. And we see that the diameter is 16. So the radius is going to be 8. So we have one circle at pi r squared, 8 squared, and that equals 201.1 feet squared. Next, I'm going to find the rectangle. I can see that this is 32, and I know that this I can move over to, oops, whoa, this is one. I can move it over to get 16. So I have the area of the rectangle is going to be base times height which is 32 times 16, and that equals 240. Nope, wrong one. That equals 512. Now I'm going to do the area of the triangle, and that equals 1/2 base times height. 1/2, the base is 32, the height is 15, and that works out to 240. So now the area of all of those shapes together are going to give us the total area of that pool. So that's going to be the 201.1 plus 512 plus 240. And that's going to be 953.1 feet squared. Okay, this one looks a little complicated, but it's really not. I want to show you that we're going to just find the area of those circles. So we have the area of a circle. Area of the circle is pi r squared. But we have two circles, so we're going to have two circles times 2 times pi. Now we have to figure out what that radius is. Well, I know I've got a square here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, there's the no, that's not the apothem, that's the radius. I have a 45 angle here, a triangle here. So here's the hypotenuse. Here's the hypotenuse of that triangle. So that means that this leg is going to be divided by radical 3, radical 2 rather. So I've got 6 radical 2 over 2, which works out into 3 radical 2. So the radius of this circle is going to be 3 radical 2. So when I do all the math, I get a 113.1 centimeters squared. And that's the area of all of those semicircles together. All right, so I have to figure out the shaded area of this diagram. So that means I don't want the circles. So the plan will be to take the area of the rectangle and subtract the area of the circles. Whoops. The area of the circles. And that's going to give us our area, the total area. Okay. Alrighty then, I have one number. One number. Where's the rest of it? Well, I can show you this. I know that this is half of the 10 feet. So, actually, I can figure out the radius, but I can also figure out the height of that shape. The height of that shape is 5. Because I can scoot this right down here, and that's going to be 5. And then I'm going to take this, oops, no, and put it back, so I can figure out the radius of that circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, the area of the rectangle is base times height, right? So that's going to be 5 times 10. You could probably do that in your head. So in order to figure out the area of the circle, there's 2 of them. So I'm going to say the area of 2 circles is 2 times pi r squared. So what is the radius? The radius is half of 5, which is going to be 2.5. And when you do all that math, you end up with 39.3 feet squared. So in order now to figure out the area of the shaded portion, the orange portion, I'm going to take the 50 minus the 39.3 to get 10.7. There's your answer. Okay, last one. Now I'm going to take the area of the circle and I'm going to subtract the triangle to get the total. So the area of the circle minus the area of the triangle, do that all the time. Area of the triangle equals the total shaded area. So the area of the circle, no, I don't have anything. I don't have a radius, I don't have a diameter, but I do sort of have a radius. I'm going to draw it right here. There's my radius. And I can figure out what that radius is because I know that this triangle in here is a 30, 60, 90. And I have the short leg. So the hypotenuse of this triangle is going to be 16. And this right here is 8 radical 3. All right, so now I have all the numbers that I need in order to figure out the area of the circle. The area of the circle is going to be pi r squared. And that equals 804.2. Now I want the area of this big triangle here. Well, to figure that out, I need area equals 1/2 AP, because I already have the hypotenuse. 1/2, and the hypotenuse is 8. What's the perimeter? Well, the perimeter is 8.8 radical 3, and 8 radical 3, this whole thing is going to be 16 radical 3 times the number of sides. So the perimeter is going to be 83.1. I'm going to put that in down here. 83.1. And when you do all that math, you get 332.6. Now the last step is to subtract them. Subtract the triangle from the circle. So I'm going to say 804.2 minus 332.6, and that equals 471.6 inches squared. And that is the total for just the shaded part of this circle. Okay, so we will see you in class tomorrow. Have a great night.